What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here, as always, on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade J.J. Williams, and today is Friday. It's not Dad's on Wrestling, so that means that we are also being broadcast today on the Jeff Meacham Network. Thank you very much to owner-operator Jeff MRF and Meacham, the West Coast professor, for allowing me to invade this time slot every other week when the dads aren't on. And today is going to be a doozy, folks, because we are going to discuss the Star Wars Holiday Special, starring Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Anthony Daniels, Peter Mayhew, James Earl Jones, B. Arthur, Art Carney, Harvey Korman, and the Jefferson Starship. What's going on, everybody? Like I said, it is Friday. It is not the Dads on Wrestling, which means thank you very much to the Jeff Meacham Network for allowing me to invade the time slot and bring you this review. I'll go ahead and get it out there right now, man. I know this is not what you would have picked for this month if you could have chosen something to air on your network. I apologize for that. I couldn't really give you a choice this month because we had to air the way they fall within the storyline. And even though it is not acknowledged by Lucasfilm, and let's be real, it's barely acknowledged by the fans, the Star Wars Holiday Special, released in 1978, technically falls in between A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back. If you watch the Holiday Special, you'll see that all the characters are pretty much wearing the exact same outfits they wore in A New Hope. And then it also features the first introduction to the saga officially of Boba Fett. Yes, in the special edition of A New Hope, you see Boba Fett there in the scene with Jabba at the docking bay talking to Han. And he would come in to play more prominently in The Empire Strikes Back, which we'll get to tomorrow. But that was still 2 years away, and he didn't officially appear in A New Hope until the 97 special editions. So for all intents and purposes, this was our first look at the notorious bounty hunter that we all came to love. So let's get right into it here, shall we? Our special opens, and it's a holiday called Life Day. And Chewbacca is heading home to Kashyyyk, his home world, with Han Solo to celebrate. You know, the two are lifelong friends. We saw the friendship begin in Solo. It's been going on for years. Life Day is essentially Wookiee Christmas. Just think of it like that. Han and Chewie are pursued by two Star Destroyers, but they're able to escape into hyperspace. Meanwhile, Chewbacca's family is preparing for his return. They haven't seen him at least since the last Life Day, because there's conversation made about how Chewie always comes home for Life Day. Doesn't matter where he is, what he's doing, he always comes home for Life Day. So we can only assume that his family hasn't seen him for a whole year. Hoping to find the Millennium Falcon, Chewie's wife, Mala, runs a computer scan for starships in the area, and sadly she's unsuccessful. So Mala contacts Luke Skywalker, who's working on his X-Wing fighter, with R2-D2 assisting him. And Luke tells her that, they left on time, he doesn't know where they are, but like I said, Chewie never misses a Life Day. So he will be there eventually. You just have to have faith in the fact that Chewie will make it home. Mala then contacts Son Dawn, a local trader, who tells Mala through carefully worded message that Han and Chewie are on their way and they should be there very soon. Mala then attempts to prepare a meal for their Life Day celebration by watching a cooking show hosted by Chef Gourmanda, which is a character portrayed by Harvey Korman. However, Mala fails. San arrives at the Wookiee homestead with Life Day gifts for everyone, including a virtual reality program for Itchy, Chewie's father, which, if we're being incredibly honest here, is pretty much a softcore porn in its design. Back on the Falcon, Chewie and Han come out of hyperspace near Kashyyyk, but Han detects a strong Imperial presence. So they land near an unguarded area to the north of the planet. And as they enter the atmosphere, Lumpy hears the roar of the ship. Lumpy is Chewie's kid. So Lumpy's thinking that Han and Chewie have finally arrived, so Mala rushes to open the door and finds 2 stormtroopers and Imperial officers instead. The Imperials force their way into the house, and an officer orders a search of the premises for Chewbacca. As they search, San and the others attempt to distract the Imperials with food and Mala's music box, which plays a video of the Jefferson Starship. Which, if you're a music fan, the Jefferson Starship spawned out of the Jefferson Airplane, known for Somebody to Love, White Rabbit, etc. After that had run its course, they became Jefferson Starship, and then eventually in the 80s, they just became Starship, known for We Built This City and Sarah. So this is like the in-between incarnation of the band between the Airplane and just being called Starship. When the music ends, the head officer orders for the search to continue. And the head officer orders Mala to keep Lumpy busy while they search his room. So Lumpy uses a view screen to watch a cartoon of one of his dad's many adventures. And this is the introduction of Boba Fett. This cartoon short, in its entirety, is actually available on Disney Plus right now as we speak, and is the only proof out there in the mainstream digital world of this show's existence. Because this is the only thing that is pretty much praised out of the entire show. So if you've never seen the holiday special, but you want to see this animated short, it is currently on Disney Plus right now. In search of a talisman, the Millennium Falcon crashes on the moon of Pana with all of the main crew on board. And they encounter Boba Fett, who saves Luke from a giant monster and claims to want to help the rebels. They all board the Falcon, where Han has been infected by a mysterious sleeping virus caused by the talisman. Luke then contracts the virus as well, and so Chewie and Boba Fett go into Pana City to get the cure. Once they get to the city, which is occupied heavily by Imperials, Fett instructs Chewie to stay behind. That way he can deceptively contact Darth Vader in secret. Back on the Falcon, C-3PO is caring for Han and Luke, while R2-D2 intercepts a transmission between Boba Fett and Darth Vader. Fett and Chewie manage to evade the Imperials and return to the Falcon with the cure, and once everyone recovers from the virus, they learn of Boba Fett's true allegiances. Fett blasts away using his jetpack, and he promises that they will all meet again. The heroes, fully recovered, return to the rebel base aboard the Falcon. And that's when our short ends. Back in the live-action world of the holiday special, at the Wookiee home, Lumpy works to create a translation device that will fool the Imperials into returning to their base by impersonating their commander's voice. And to do so, Lumpy must watch a manual for the device, which is being presented by a malfunctioning robot, also performed by Harvey Korman. While the Imperials are searching downstairs, the viewing screen in the living room activates and announces that Tatooine is being put under curfew by the Empire due to subversive forces. The video is declared mandatory viewing for all Imperial forces and features Ackmena running the Mos Eisley canteen. Ackmena is performed by B. Arthur, one of the Golden Girls. And Ackmena is approached by an admirer named Krellman, also played by Harvey Korman, who has misunderstood something she said to him and therefore is enamored with her as a result. Ackmena announces last call due to the curfew, but nobody wants to leave the bar, so she sings a farewell song. Lumpy seizes the opportunity while this is all going on to put his plan into motion, and he fakes a call for all Imperials to return to their base. They depart except for one stormtrooper who remains and discovers that they were all tricked. So he proceeds to chase Lumpy outside after destroying the machine. Han and Chewie finally arrive, and Chewie protects Lumpy as Han kills the stormtrooper. They are all reunited, and an Imperial officer ends up appearing on the screen and gives a general alert message for the missing stormtrooper. San, who's been played the entire time by legendary actor Art Carney, quickly chimes in, stating that the stormtrooper stole supplies and then deserted the mission. With the danger finally averted, the Wookiee family prepares to attend the festival at the Great Tree of Life. They hold glowing orbs and wear red robes, and the Wookiees walk into a bright star and safely arrive at the Tree of Life, where R2-D2, C-3PO, Luke, Leia, and Han are all gathered awaiting them. Leia proceeds to give a speech as only a princess can, and then sing a song while Chewie remembers everything that he did in his role in A New Hope. Afterwards, the Wookiee family sit down at the table, bow their heads before enjoying their Life Day feast. Okay. The Star Wars Holiday Special is admittedly bad. As a Star Wars fanatic, I do torment myself to watch it once a year, usually around Christmas time because it is a holiday special. But I'm not going to be watching it again this year because I've already got my one fill out of it, my one viewing. If you are a Star Wars fanatic, if you consider yourself, one with the Force, so to speak, you must see this at least once. It's bad. I'm not going to lie. I can't even go as far as to say that it's so bad it's good. Carrie Fisher admittedly was coked out beyond knowledge during the filming of this. She has gone on record numerous times talking about how drugged out she was. Luke and Han definitely phone it in. They could care less. The only redeeming qualities that I can find in this, in all seriousness, is number one, the introduction of Boba Fett. But even the cartoon, which is the one thing that gets praise in this special, looks really bad and primitively drawn, especially in comparison to other cartoons that were out in the 60s and 70s. Like, you compare the animation in this to anything Disney did in the 70s, which granted Disney is a high standard, so we can even throw that out, but you compare it to anything Looney Tunes that was in the 70s and 60s, compare it to things like the Flintstones, Johnny Quest, and the animation is horrid. Horrid. The other redeeming quality is it's the first look we got at the world of Kashyyyk. And if you look at the exterior shots of Kashyyyk and what they gave us, which admittedly isn't a lot, you can definitely see a lot of inspiration for what would become the world of Endor in the two Ewok films, which are coming up, as well as Return of the Jedi. When it comes to my rating of this film, I'm giving it 1 out of 5 stars. I won't give it 0, only for the fact that I do subject myself to this on a yearly basis. But 1 star is the best I can give it, in all seriousness. Those of you that have seen it, what do you guys think of the Star Wars Holiday Special? If you're watching the premiere at 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern on the Casa D18 Studios channel, leave your comments over here. If you're watching the replay at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern on the Jeff Meacham Network, once again, leave your comments over here. If you're watching it on demand, because it's the Star Wars Holiday Special, and I can't begrudge you that, leave your comments down here for me. I am very, very curious what my viewing audience thinks of the Star Wars Holiday Special. And if you have never seen the Star Wars Holiday Special, I do implore you, it is on YouTube in its entirety. Look it up. If you are a fan of Star Wars, you've got to see it at least once. Don't forget to get out there on social media. Get those hashtags trending for me. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios. Hashtag Renegades Reviews. Hashtag Renegade Returns. Hashtag Jeff Meacham Network. And of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade J.J. Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you get out there. Do what that commercial just told you. Go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all your official merchandise of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood. Get you your shirt for myself, the Renegade J.J. Williams. Get you your dad's Not Always on Wrestling t-shirt, Statboy Sports Bar, hashtag Shenanigans, hashtag StatBoy Approved shirts, get you your shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network. We've got 3 different designs of the Jeff Meacham Network logo for you to choose from. Either the Royal Rumble inspired logo, the Back to the Future inspired logo, or the LA Kings inspired logo. Plus Meachamania, talk wrestling, and so much more. Tomorrow, back here exclusively on the Casa D18 Studios channel, where I will bring you yet another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. Make sure you tune in as I cover 1980s Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, starring Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, David Prowse, James Earl Jones, Billy D. Williams, Anthony Daniels, Kenny Baker, Peter Mayhew, Alec Guinness, Frank Oz, and Jeremy Bulloch. You're not going to want to miss out tomorrow when I talk about what is regarded by, in most people's opinion, the greatest Star Wars movie ever made, The Empire Strikes Back. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Join me for that. To all my fans that have been watching here on the premiere, leaving your comments over here, thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you. To all of you guys that have watched on demand, leaving your comments down here for me. Once again, thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you. To Mr. Jeff Meacham himself for allowing me to take over this time slot every other week. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. And until tomorrow when I cover The Empire Strikes Back, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time, and may the Force be with you.